speak English. I'll speak English and Korean half and half. So, please wait.
I can speak English well. I can speak English well.
As much as I think the diversification of K-pop is cool and fun and awesome, the most pivotal and novel part of K-pop is the K, the beautiful language it's sung in. Now, before y'all drag me by my scalp for saying something like that because you don't actually understand the point of the whole cute K-pop Korean thing, let me put it this way. What if Scooter Braun looked at Ava Max's current music and said, "You know what, Ava, this music isn't good enough to be popular in the Eastern market on its own, we have to change its most pivotal and defining characteristic to make it appealing to those silly close-minded Asians." We would consider that yet another reason to be pissed off at him. But when K-pop companies make marketing decisions with that same mentality and create English songs with the corniest lyrics imaginable, y'all wanna make it a TikTok sound. Be so serious. Now, am I saying that all English K-pop songs suck and have poor quality and lyricism? No, silly. We do have good English songs, more than you'd think. But I can't help but feel a little tinge of fear in my stomach whenever a group I like announces an English version of a song or even a full English mini-album. What if it ends up giving me the ick? What if the company completely fumbles the mixing while working with overseas producers? What if Begaboom is in the writing credits? There are so many risks. Too many. Not to mention just how many domestic Korean releases are 50% English if not more. Kinda like how they tried to call Supersonic or whatever that song was by New Jeans a Japanese release even though it had 2 Japanese lyrics, maybe 5 Korean lyrics, and the rest was English. Enough of the plucking some random American composer's demo out of the slop pile and throwing in some Korean here and there to make it look legit. Bring those Korean writers you obviously fired back in for me and make a real K-pop song. I'm begging.
Where is the album? We need the damn album. Where is the album? We need the damn album.
Is anyone else kinda tired of newer groups bombarding us with pre-debut material weeks or even months out from their official debut date? What happened to member introduction films, D-Day countdown calendars, tracklist spoilers, concept films, and the works? 5th gen groups are now just dropping a whole music video out of nowhere, calling it promotion, and then going radio silent until their actual debut. No hi, hello, how are you, just boom, here's my mixtape. They're just tossing out a track with minimal promotion hoping TikTok will bless them with enough traction and hype to have a line out the door of people ready to stand at debut, instead of going the tried and true route of actual marketing and strategic teasing that gave 3rd and 4th gen so much success. They think they're throwing a steak into a pack of wolves when in reality they're throwing a buck into a pack of Gen Alpha kids. Not to mention just how redundant pre-releases tend to be because they often end up sounding nothing like the group's debut track and actual intended soundscape. It's catfishing at its finest and it's all Luna's fault.
I'm kind of tomboy too. I'm not that sweet like girly.
Hey.
Can you tell it?
Oh yeah.
Something in K-pop's fandom culture that has really made me scratch my head is the amount of boy group stans or multi-stans who straight up badmouth the boy groups they claim to like, either for clout via rage bait, or retweets and shares from toxic girl group stans on their timeline. While it's completely normal for a fan to offer genuine criticism and healthy critiques of the groups they admire, these types of stans like to open the social media platform of their choosing, typically TikTok, and just straight up dog on the groups they claim to be fans of. It's like if I were to get on this platform and say something like, I love P1 Harmony. But I low-key hate every last one of their songs. And I think they're all ugly. And if all of the members were tragically unalived in an accident involving a double-decker bus, I wouldn't be upset. Insanity. Like how can you claim to admire a group and hold them in high regard, while simultaneously throwing them under the bus for a single crumb of attention from man-hating, jobless anti-stans in the community without a second thought? Sure, I have my criticisms about my arts, P1 Harmony and NCT, like Theo always straining his voice to hit notes, and inconsistencies in Jungwoo's nasal tone that can often sound off, but you will never catch me badmouthing them in an earnest, non-sarcastic context unless one of them did something terrible and unforgettable, like enjoying terrible music. I knew that this sort of pick-me type of fan was an issue in the boy group sphere, but I didn't know just how prevalent it was until I saw a video about Cupcake Stays by the creator Lee Now, whom I will link in the description for you to watch because it's a really good and well-made video.
But you did this for what?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why though?
Something that absolutely baffles me about K-pop nowadays is just how many groups, particularly mainstream ones, will drop a gazillion and one remixes of their title track all to squeeze out a handful of extra streams. Like respectfully, if I didn't like the title track in its original form, how exactly is a dubstep remix by a DJ I've never heard of supposed to fix that? It's a little delusional. And don't even get me started on the default sped up and slowed down versions we get thanks to TikTok. Someone with CapCut and 5 minutes to spare is going to upload their own nightcore or slowed reverb version to YouTube for free anyway, so why are companies burning money officially releasing these? Let's be real, nobody is coming back to stream them apart from a few special exceptions. These extra tracks are so unpopular that I genuinely think a company could make one of them 2.5 minutes of Taco Bell shorts and no one would notice. Or maybe they would, and then agencies would spin it into a viral moment, because apparently all publicity is good publicity now. And what really sucks is that this isn't even a K-pop problem, it's a Western charting problem that mainstream groups are somewhat forced to participate in to legitimize themselves in the global market. Seeing K-pop groups stoop to playing the American music industry's game just to barely keep their heads above water in the US market is honestly depressing. Especially when the system favors the standards set by artists like Taylor Swift and reinforced by TikTok manufactured careers from people like Tate McRae, Addison Rae, and Cat's Eye. Now this isn't inherently a bad thing because obviously, people are going to be partial to their homegrown artists and in the case of Cat's Eye, those who feel culturally familiar and compatible with American audiences, that's just textbook national pride. However, it stings when so many K-pop acts could run circles around these newer American artists in terms of performance, cohesion, and overall quality, yet no matter how hard their American fanbases show up for them, they're still sidelined in favor of industry-backed darlings, overhyped plants, and sellouts. And let's be extra for real, a lot of American pop music right now exists purely to be background noise for someone's morning routine TikTok. Careers are being propped up by pretty privilege, branding, and algorithmic momentum rather than substance. That's why these artists need endless alternate versions, repackages, and remixes to inflate numbers and hit chart benchmarks that the music itself can't sustain. All in all, I know this tactic is ultimately necessary for my faves to survive in a market that wasn't built with the K-pop formula in mind for obvious reasons. If my faves want to survive over here, they have to play the game. But knowing all that doesn't make it any less disappointing.
house.